you brought up Trevor Bauer shortly earlier, and his comments after he gave up 3 dingers to us in the inning, and he brushed him aside, saying he like wasn't trying or whatnot. And then Scott Servais coming out saying, "Oh yeah, our guys didn't start trying until the 5th inning," just talking some smack back to Bauer. And that's something I haven't really seen from Scott doing, and in terms of being that kind of throwing some shade towards another player and being a bit more aggressive in that aspect. What were your reactions to those comments?
I thought everything about it was incredible. Like I loved every element of it.
Yes.
If I was a Mariners player, I would maybe take some offense to what Bauer said, right?
I took offense to it when I heard it.
Absolutely.
But we need Trevor Bauer. We need more
100%.
Trevor Bauers.
Yeah.
Like, don't dislike the guy because he comes across like wildly different, you know?
Mhm.
He is so good for the game, not only because he's one of the most dominant starting pitchers in the game, but because he's just so different, man. Like baseball, which is the thing I love the most outside of my immediate family. I mean, baseball has become, unfortunately, like really the same. Like every team is doing it the same way. Every pitcher tries to do it the same way. It's like, it's just kind of the state that we're in right now. And obviously, Major League Baseball is taking experimental steps this year in the minor leagues to shake it up and see if things can change and we can have the game look a little bit different, which I'm all for a lot of those measures and I'm really excited for them. But like we need villains.
Yes.
Like I'm kind of mad that Harper isn't as much of a villain as he was.
Yeah.
Like remember like Harper like kicked the painted A of the Braves behind home plate one time as he was walking around. Like it was a long time ago. A lot of people probably remember it. He kind of like kicked it with his foot. And it was amazing. Like it was so great, man. Like I'm not the Braves. I'm not the one who got offended by it. So I think it's great. But like, you know, guys do that in the NFL and they stomp on the logo. Baker Mayfield plants a flag at midfield, you know, in college, and NBA's talking smack. Like, and now you've got like Syndergaard tweeting to Bauer like every other day about terrible. Like it's a little bit of a sideshow element, but man, just like a radio broadcast, all this is entertainment. Like baseball's entertainment.
Yeah,
it's 100% entertainment. Now for Mitch Haniger and Kyle Seager and Marco Gonzalez, it's their career, it's their livelihood,
right?
It's their career. But there's a massive entertainment element to it and value. And so, as long as Trevor Bauer's not hurting anybody, man. When I read when I was on TV with Blow that night, when Bauer said that, and I saw the tweet come across, and I was so excited to read it to Blow on air because it's like. And Blow was great with it. He had fun with it too. But it's like, man, this is fun. This is so much fun. And Scott's response to it made it even more fun. It was phenomenal. Like to have a major league manager having fun at the reigning Cy Young Award winner. Give me more. Like give me all that. Give me a double feature, man. I want that all day long. It's great.
That's exactly why I love that, because I am fully on board with you saying we need guys like Trevor Bauer in the league. In the NBA, it's always tweets like, oh, this league, like people love it because stuff goes down. And without Trevor Bauer making those comments, we wouldn't have been able to see that side of Scott having our teams back and throwing some shade back. And it's just from our perspective as fans, we're just like, this is what we want to see. Right. And like, it just shows his personality, a side of it that we haven't seen before. And so I love having Trevor Bauer talk that smack. And then it just opens up the door for people to talk smack back. And that's,
and it opens up, it opens up the door too, for us to build, to light, ignite a flame. Right. Which at the end of the day, this is why we're all watching the Mariners. And this is why we've watched the Mariners since we were tykes, right? It's we want the Mariners to succeed. And frankly, if this kind of situation is what, lights a fire under their asses, I mean, let's do it. Let's roll with it.
Put more wood on the fire. Let's get it going.
Yeah. And there's no, I don't know if this is nobody's fault, but there aren't many rivalries in baseball, right? And they're the obvious ones, but the majority of teams don't have a rival.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. And so not that Trevor Bauer is suddenly a rival, but I'm not advocating anybody getting hurt or anybody doing anything that's obviously wrong. But just any of that stuff that sparks a flame, sparks some type of interest, and gives a little more juice and sizzle to, game 72 out of 162. Hey man, have fun with it. Let's do it. It's great. There's so many, baseball has so many incredible things going for it. We are in this golden era of just young, young megawatt superstars in both leagues. And they're so great. And the more of the personality that we can see from those guys, and it doesn't have to be abrasive, but the more personality we can see, the better. And that's one thing that Scott has been so great at from day one is, he lets his guys be him. Like, my kids aren't totally old enough to use this advice, but I remember what he said about his players. Like, if you don't roll with them, they're going to roll without you or roll against you. And when he said that, my kids were really young. They're still pretty young. And I was like, man, that's like great dad advice. Like, I'm going to remember that. And so he's all for it, which is great. And I think we saw that last year with, all the social injustice that we saw around the country and how it was so picked up, and so many Mariners players carried that torch. And Scott was right there, letting his guys be him and supporting him and backing him up. And so
absolutely,
it's cool that the Mariners front man is so into that. And and we know there are guys on the team right now, and there are guys who will be on the team, whether it be at some point this year or down the road, that have got big personalities. And I can't wait for all those guys to come together in one clubhouse.